We often move through life on autopilot, thinking we are making choices. But in reality, we are simply reacting. Every day, we wake up and repeat the same patterns, the same thoughts, the same emotions, the same actions, and even the same results. We think we're in control, but most of the time, our subconscious mind is running the show. The human brain is a record of everything you've experienced in your past. Every thought, feeling, and behavior you've rehearsed becomes stored as a neural pathway. Over time, those pathways become your automatic responses. You begin to live according to your past, not your potential. Awareness is what breaks that cycle. It's the moment when you finally step outside of yourself and notice what you've been doing, what you've been feeling, and what you've been thinking for so long. Imagine waking up every morning and immediately reaching for your phone. You scroll, you check your messages, your notifications, your emails. You haven't even taken a full breath, but your body is already reacting to external triggers. That's not awareness. That's conditioning. And if you start your day this way, your brain is instantly firing old circuits, reminding your body who you were yesterday. Your identity becomes tied to what you repeatedly do. The longer you repeat a pattern, the more it becomes a program. The truth is, most people aren't living, they're remembering. They're remembering their stress, their failure, their pain, and their limitations. But awareness changes everything. Awareness allows you to catch yourself in the act of being your old self. It gives you the space to observe, not react. When you start to become aware of your thoughts, you'll notice that many of them are repetitive. Studies show that nearly 90% of your thoughts today are the same ones you had yesterday. Think about what that means. If your thoughts create your reality, and your thoughts never change, then your reality can't change either. You can't think the same way, feel the same way, and expect life to suddenly evolve. That's why awareness is the doorway to transformation. It's not just noticing what's happening. It's understanding how your inner world creates your outer world. When you feel anxious, it's not the situation that's causing it, it's your interpretation. When you feel stuck, it's not life holding you back. It's your mind replaying the same limiting patterns that it's comfortable with. The moment you begin to notice your thoughts without judgment, you interrupt the program. You start seeing how your emotions drive your decisions. You begin to understand why you attract similar experiences, relationships, or challenges. For example, if you constantly think you're not enough, your brain filters your reality through that belief. It looks for proof that you're not enough. Someone's tone, a missed opportunity, a small setback. Your perception becomes evidence for your limitation. But once you become aware, you can question it. Is that really true? Or is it just an old story I've believed for too long? That's how transformation begins, not by forcing change, but by becoming conscious of what's been unconscious. Your body also plays a powerful role in this process. Emotions are the chemical consequences of your thoughts. When you think stressful thoughts, your brain releases stress hormones, adrenaline, and cortisol, and your body feels that tension. Over time, your body becomes conditioned to those emotions. It becomes addicted to the familiar feeling of stress, worry, or sadness. Then, even when nothing is wrong, your body craves that emotional state. You begin to think in alignment with how you feel. If you feel tired, you think tired thoughts. If you feel anxious, you think anxious thoughts. And so the cycle continues. Thoughts create emotions. Emotions create more thoughts. Awareness breaks that feedback loop. When you observe your emotions without letting them control you, you reclaim your power. You're no longer reacting. You're responding consciously. One of the most powerful moments of awareness happens when you realize that you are not your thoughts. You are the observer behind them. Thoughts pass through you, but they do not define you. Feelings arise within you, but they are not you. You have the ability to notice them, to breathe through them, and to choose something new. That's the moment of awakening, when you recognize that your mind is a tool, not your identity. Once that happens, you begin to step out of the familiar past and into the unknown potential of the present moment. Awareness is not about perfection. It's about presence. It's about slowing down enough to see the invisible patterns that guide your life. You can't change what you can't see, but once you can see it, you can transform it. When you observe yourself feeling anger rising or anxiety creeping in, or a limiting belief whispering that you can't, that's your opportunity. That's the moment when you stop being the program and start being the programmer. The mind may resist at first because the unknown feels uncomfortable. The familiar, even if it's painful, feels safe. But awareness gives you choice. You can choose to think differently, to feel differently, to act differently. That's the foundation of leveling up. Every great transformation begins with a single realization. I have been living from memory, but I can choose to live from imagination. I have been repeating the old self, but I can create a new one. Awareness is the spark that ignites that change. It's the light that reveals where you've been stuck and where you're meant to go. It's the shift from being asleep in your own story to waking up and realizing that you're the author of it. Awareness doesn't come through effort. It comes through attention. It comes when you start watching your thoughts, the way you'd watch clouds pass through the sky, without attachment. And as you do, the old patterns lose their power. The old self begins to dissolve. The past stops dictating your future. Because the moment you become aware of the unconscious is the moment you start to become free. Once awareness opens the door, the next step is reprogramming. Awareness allows you to see your old patterns, but reprogramming allows you to replace them. It's where transformation truly begins. Most people believe change requires only action, working harder, setting goals, or pushing through resistance. But lasting change happens on a deeper level. It's not just about doing something different. It's about becoming someone different. The mind and body must align with a new emotional and mental frequency for that to happen. You can't create a new life with the same thoughts and feelings that built the old one. To reprogram your mind, you must move from living by emotion to living by intention. Every emotion you feel is a chemical instruction to your body. When you feel fear, your body releases stress hormones that prepare you for danger. When you feel anger, it floods your system with adrenaline, pushing you to fight or defend. When you feel guilt or shame, your body lowers its energy and slows your vibration. If you've been living in these emotions for years, your body has learned to expect them. It's as if it wakes up each morning waiting for the familiar hit of stress. This is how we become addicted to our emotions. Your body begins to crave the feeling of worry, resentment, or doubt because it's what it knows best. So even when your conscious mind wants to change, your subconscious body pulls you back to the familiar. That's why it feels so hard to break old habits. You're not just changing your mind. You're reconditioning your body. Reprogramming begins by teaching your body to experience a new future before it arrives. Most people wait for something outside of them to change how they feel. They say, I'll be happy when I get the promotion, or I'll feel confident once I lose weight, or I'll feel free when my circumstances improve. That's living in reverse. It's living as a victim of your environment. True reprogramming flips that order. You begin to feel the emotion before the event. You begin to create from the inside out, not the outside in. When you hold a clear intention in your mind, a specific vision of your future, and combine it with an elevated emotion like gratitude, love, or joy, your body begins to believe that the future has already happened. The brain doesn't know the difference between a vividly imagined experience and a real one. When you consistently rehearse new thoughts and emotions, you start installing new neural circuits. Those circuits become the blueprint for your new reality. This is how powerful your mind truly is. Every thought you think sends an electrical signal through your brain. Every emotion you feel sends a chemical signal through your body. When those two align, intention and emotion, you create a new state of being. You're no longer reacting to life. You're creating it. But to do that, you must first release the emotional addictions of the past. You have to let go of the constant need to feel worry or fear in order to feel alive. The human mind is addicted to what's predictable, even if it's painful. That's why people stay in situations that don't serve them, relationships, jobs, habits, because they are familiar. But when you choose intention over emotion, you begin to break that pattern. You start to generate feelings on purpose instead of waiting for life to trigger them. The process begins with clarity. You must decide who you want to become, not what you want to have, but who you want to be. Do you want to be calm? Confident? Free? Grateful? Close your eyes and imagine what that version of you feels like. What thoughts would that person think? How would they act? What energy would they radiate when they enter a room? You have to become emotionally familiar with your future self. Everything in existence is energy. Every thought you think, every emotion you feel, every intention you hold carries a specific frequency. When you think of your future self, the one who is confident, fulfilled, successful, peaceful, or free, that version of you already exists on a higher energetic frequency than the one you currently operate from. The challenge isn't about becoming that version. It's about tuning into that version. Just like a radio station that's always broadcasting, your future self is already transmitting a signal. You simply have to align your vibration to receive it. That is what leveling up truly means. Raising your emotional and energetic frequency so that it matches the reality you desire. Most people live in low-energy states without even realizing it. They wake up thinking about problems, replaying the past, worrying about the future, or scrolling through social media, absorbing other people's energy. They move through their day in survival mode, reacting to everything around them, controlled by stress, fear, and frustration. Those emotions are low-frequency vibrations that keep your energy dense and heavy. They tie you to the familiar past. You cannot create a new future from the same level of energy that's rooted in fear or doubt. That's like trying to tune into a new station while staying locked on the old frequency. To level up, you must consciously generate emotions that lift your vibration. Emotions like gratitude, love, enthusiasm, and inspiration. Those are high-frequency states that open the door to new possibilities. Energy responds to attention. Wherever you place your focus, that's where your energy flows. If you constantly focus on what's wrong, your energy will feed the problem. But if you focus on what's possible, your energy begins to expand toward solutions. This is why visualization and intention setting are so powerful. When you hold a vision in your mind with emotional intensity, you are sending out an energetic signal to the universe. The universe responds not to your words, but to the vibration behind them. You can say you want abundance, but if your dominant emotion is fear or scarcity, you are broadcasting the frequency of lack. And energy doesn't lie. To attract abundance, you must first feel abundant. To attract love, you must be loving. To attract peace, you must embody calm. The outer world mirrors the inner world. Your energy is the bridge between the two. When you truly begin to change your energy, life starts to reorganize around you. Opportunities appear. Synchronicities unfold. You meet people who align with your growth. It feels as though the universe is responding to your new state of being, because it is. But this isn't magic. It's resonance. In physics, resonance is the phenomenon where two frequencies that are similar begin to vibrate together. When you raise your vibration to match the frequency of your desired reality, you resonate with it. You attract experiences that align with that frequency and repel those that don't. The shift happens from within. Your thoughts create your electrical field. Your emotions create your magnetic field. Together, they form your personal energy signature, the vibration that you send out into the quantum field every moment. If your thoughts and emotions are incoherent, meaning they contradict each other, your energy becomes scattered. You may think, I want success, but if deep down you feel unworthy or afraid, your energy cancels itself out. Coherence, on the other hand, happens when your heart and mind are in alignment, when your thoughts are clear and your emotions are elevated. In that state, your energy field becomes powerful and organized. You become magnetic. You begin to influence reality rather than be influenced by it. Raising your energy isn't about faking positivity or ignoring pain. It's about mastering your internal state. It's about learning to shift from reaction to creation. When something triggers you, you can either fall back into the old emotional loop, frustration, anger, self-pity, or you can pause, breathe, and choose a higher response. Every time you do, you reclaim your energy from the past and reinvest it into your future. You stop leaking energy into the same old stories and begin to channel it into new creations, That's how energy transforms, through conscious direction. Meditation, breathwork, movement, and gratitude are powerful ways to change your energetic state. When you meditate, you quiet the noise of the analytical mind and open space for new frequencies to emerge. When you practice deep, intentional breathing, you shift your nervous system from survival to coherence. Your heart rhythm stabilizes, your brain waves synchronize, and your body becomes a conduit for higher energy. Movement, whether it's exercise, dance, or walking in nature, circulates stagnant energy and clears emotional blocks. Gratitude, the highest vibrational emotion, expands your energy instantly. It sends a signal to your body that everything is already working in your favor, that life is abundant, that you are safe and supported. When you consistently practice these states, you raise your baseline vibration. You begin to live on the same frequency as your desired reality. You can feel the difference between low and high energy. Low energy feels heavy, stagnant, resistant. It drains you and keeps you repeating the same situations. High energy feels light, expansive, and alive. It opens your mind to new ideas and inspires bold action. Your energy is contagious. It affects everyone and everything around you. When your vibration rises, it doesn't just transform your life. It uplifts your environment. People can sense it in your presence, in your voice, in your confidence. You no longer chase opportunities, they are drawn to you because you've become the energetic match for them. Changing your energy also means letting go of what no longer resonates. This could be old habits, toxic relationships, negative environments, or limiting beliefs. Every time you release something that drains you, you free up energy for something greater. The universe abhors a vacuum. Once you create energetic space, new experiences rush in to fill it. The process of leveling up often feels uncomfortable at first because you're expanding beyond what's familiar. But that discomfort is simply your energy recalibrating to a higher frequency. Every emotion, thought, and action you embody either adds to your energy or takes from it. You are the generator of your frequency, not the victim of it. When you begin to take responsibility for your vibration, life stops feeling random. You understand that your energy is the cause and your reality is the effect. You realize that you don't have to wait for external circumstances to change before you feel good. You can choose to elevate your energy now, and when you do, the external world inevitably rearranges itself to reflect your new state. That is how you tune into the frequency of your future self, not by chasing it, but by becoming it energetically, moment by moment, thought by thought, feeling by feeling. The final stage of transformation is embodiment. Awareness allows you to see the old patterns. Reprogramming gives you the tools to change them, and energy alignment connects you to your future self. But embodiment is where everything becomes real. It's where knowledge turns into experience and belief turns into being. Embodiment is the process of living as if you are already the person you want to become. It's not about waiting for evidence to show up in your life. It's about showing up as the evidence. It's about acting, thinking, feeling, and behaving in alignment with your next level identity until it becomes your natural state. Most people understand what they need to do to change, but they don't live it. They know how to think positively, how to visualize, how to affirm. But when life tests them, when challenges come, when someone disappoints them, when fear resurfaces, they slip back into the habits of the old self. Embodiment means you don't just know the new way intellectually. You live it emotionally, physically, and energetically. You've rehearsed it so many times in your mind that your body recognizes it as familiar. You begin to feel the emotions of your future before the event ever happens. You become the energy of what you desire long before you see it manifest. That's when the internal shift becomes visible in the external world. Embodiment is not pretending or forcing. It's not faking confidence or happiness. It's training your nervous system to feel safe and natural in the vibration of your new self. If you want to embody confidence, you don't just tell yourself you're confident, you breathe like someone who is confident. You walk like someone who is confident. You speak like someone who is confident. You carry yourself with the energy of certainty, even before you have external proof. The body learns through repetition and emotion. The more you practice being your future self in the present moment, the faster your body aligns with that state. Eventually, it no longer feels like effort. It feels like home. The science behind embodiment lies in neuroplasticity. Your brain is constantly rewiring itself based on what you repeatedly think, feel, and do. When you live according to the emotions and behaviors of your old self, those neural pathways stay strong. But when you consciously begin to think and act in new ways, you start building new connections. The more consistent you are, the more those new connections solidify until they become the new default. That's how habits are formed, not through willpower alone, but through identity shift. You don't force yourself to change. You embody the change until it becomes who you are.